We went gambled for a couple hours. We came back. Everybody went totally ballistic. Hey, he was in a casino last night. Because I can stop gambling. I have a competition problem.
You know, given Michael's earnings and the like, it never reached epic crisis levels in my view.
Michael Jordan's contribution to the game of basketball and in making the NBA a global brand is something that could perhaps never be encapsulated in just words. He's the first NBA billionaire, the only player so far to win 6 Finals MVP trophies in 6 NBA Finals. He has owned an NBA team. He has helmed a sneaker brand to stratospheric heights. And he has truly cemented his name in the GOAT conversations. But at a time when we analyze every little move of every NBA star and their social lives on the internet, Michael Jordan does get the benefit of hindsight, and some of his not-so-exemplary habits and quirks are conveniently glossed over and even whitewashed. And if you're thinking it's something similar to LeBron James's problem of casual cultural appropriation,
it's Taco Tuesday!
well, you're dead wrong. Because believe it or not, his airness in his days of being a baller on the court also had his days of being a baller off the court. And his habit of gambling had allegedly put him in some serious hot water. Take a journey with us down this memory lane, where we take a look at Michael Jordan's serious gambling habit and how it tainted his image. For starters, Jordan's gambling habits started coming into the public eye in 1993, when it was during the Eastern Conference Finals that Jordan and his Chicago Bulls were trailing 2-0 against the New York Knicks. And Jordan, uncharacteristically in Game 2, looked quite tired. Reports immediately pointed to how on the eve of Game 2, Jordan had taken a little trip to Atlantic City and gambled there in a casino, staying there for as long as 2:30 in the morning. Whereas he defended himself by saying that he was back by 12:30 or 1 a.m.
We went gambled for a couple hours. We came back. Everybody went totally ballistic. Hey, he was in a casino last night. He wasn't late. Got home by 12:30, 1 o'clock.
His gambling habit, while conveniently laughed off by teammates as well, was actually defended by Jordan himself, saying that it was all about competition and not the idea of betting and gambling alone.
Do you think you have a gambling problem at all?
No, because I can stop gambling. I have a competition problem. A competitive problem.
But then again, we really don't know how in the spirit of competition one can justify how Michael Jordan thought it was funny to take money off of security guards by betting on the Jumbotron games. And he'd even be tipped off about their results so as to make an easy $100.
That is a true story, but he never betted me. I don't think he betted Steve. Steve's not betting anybody, but he did bet. We used to have a security guy sitting at the head of our bench. His name was John Capps. He's now passed away. But Capps would bet Michael every game. The only way Capps would win if he was able to pick the right one.
Right.
Because if Michael picked, obviously he knew who he was going to win. But yeah, he probably beat the guy at about $4,100.
Yeah, not cool when you're the richest NBA player of all time. And the stories are actually not all fun and games either. Because as per a Chicago Tribune piece published all the way back in 1992, some of the shocking revelations about Jordan's gambling habit before the 1993 conference finals were shared quite vividly, and they included the part where he had to pay off a gambling debt of $57,000. And he didn't owe that money to just any random person. He owed it to a golf hustler. As per the article, which was originally published on October 24, 1992, James Slim Bolaire, the golf hustler who beat Michael Jordan out of $57,000 in one 3-day weekend last October, was convicted of money laundering but acquitted of more serious drug conspiracy charges by a federal jury Friday night. The same article reads, Bolaire, 41, twice convicted of possessing small amounts of cocaine in the 1980s, had faced a mandatory life sentence if convicted of the one count of conspiring to distribute more than 11 pounds of cocaine. Safe to say Jordan didn't have the most well-behaved friend circle, even though Bolaire wasn't convicted of being a drug dealer. But a lot of his cash did come in from high-stakes golf rounds with the likes of, well, you guessed it, Michael Jordan. And another name that has been frequently associated with Jordan's gambling habit is Richard Esquinas. who also happens to be a former golfing buddy of Jordan's. Are you sensing a pattern? Yeah, we're sensing a pattern too. Take it from this CBS article, which actually documented a staggering amount that Michael Jordan owed in just gambling debt to Esquinas. Richard Esquinas released a book entitled Michael and Me, Our Gambling Addiction, My Cry for Help. Within it, he claimed that Jordan owed him a staggering $1.25 million from golf bets. Jordan quickly denied those claims, and Esquinas later revealed that he settled with Jordan for a much smaller amount, only $300,000. Most folks probably don't even get to making $300,000 a year, but as an NBA star, that's what Jordan owed in gambling debt? Yeah, that made us reach for a glass of water too. And to the fact that it was also reported that it wasn't only in 1993, but also in 1991 during a playoff series against Philadelphia 76ers, when Michael Jordan went to Atlantic City and also took reporter Mark Van Zyl with him. The resulting speculation was only fair that to what extent was this little habit impacting Jordan. But let's take a look at it practically, especially because it was the same time when the Chicago Bulls won the three-peat. While the gambling habits and games didn't particularly hurt Jordan's on-court success, and neither was he doing something grossly illegal or against the team's policies, Jordan's involvement in the controversies related to his gambling habit hurt his soft power and public image. But why? Well, because heavy is the head that wears the crown, and when you're projected as the face of a sport, you're bound to take the hit when you don't act like a quote-unquote model athlete. To be a living embodiment of grit, hard work, skill, and immeasurable talent and star power came with its own problems, and Jordan saw his image take a hit, despite winning championships. If we juxtapose it to how modern athletes are, say comparing it to James Harden's party-heavy lifestyle and the problems it's causing between him and his organizations, or looking at other NBA stars who live a lavish lifestyle and their moves are analyzed on social media, no one would have appreciated had Jordan blown his hard-earned money on craps tables and ended up broke. Which he did not, thankfully, but well, it just didn't set the right example for a lot of players and fans across the globe who have grown up idolizing Jordan. The speculation around Jordan's gambling habits and their consequences is actually worse. And there are two major incidents which are in the public eye that are allegedly attributed to Jordan's gambling. The first being his father's death over an alleged gambling debt and the ensuing confrontation. And the second being that Jordan's first retirement from the NBA actually was a secret punishment handed to him from his betting and gambling-related shenanigans by the then president of the NBA, David Stern. Have they been proven? No. Have people talked about them? Well, yeah, for decades. And Jordan's own way of dealing with these situations hasn't been exemplary either. For example, he tried to pass off the suspicious $57,000 payment as a business loan, before it came to light that it was a gambling debt after all, as he chose to reveal the truth under oath. Secondly, despite Jordan's image suffering and the conspiracy theories speculating that David Stern handed Michael Jordan a short-term suspension, the front of it all was still dealt with in a way that it seemingly protected Jordan from any form of consequences, since David Stern himself admitted that Jordan didn't break any rules.
You know, given Michael's earnings and the like, we just never reached epic crisis levels in my view.
So that actually begs some interesting questions. Was the league trying to protect Jordan? Should they have investigated the allegations against him more efficiently, especially the ones around sports betting? Or was the league correct in dealing with Jordan's gambling habit as long as he, on paper, didn't break any rules? Let us know your thoughts on these questions in the comments below, and also share with us how you think the modern NBA in today's time would have dealt with Jordan's gambling and betting habits. And on that note, we finally come to the end of this video. Do make sure you like it. Also hit that subscribe button to join our growing community, and we will see you in the next one.